everyone, how are you? Sean Ferrick here for WhoCulture. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a lovely February so far. I hope you're all getting your birthday cards ready for me. It's at the end of the month, I'm just saying. Most importantly, how excited are we all? We are 1 month closer to the 60th anniversary special of Doctor Who, and we're coming at you with some news. Make sure you're following all the socials. Make sure you're following WhoCulture on Twitter, on Instagram. Make sure you're following myself at Sean Ferrick. Make sure you're following Danny at Dan the Meat, and make sure you're following Ellie at E Little Child. Now, all right, let's get into it. The most recent issue of Doctor Who magazine, number 587, has just hit the shelves, and I implore you, pick up a copy, whether it's a print copy or a digital copy, because it is full of super cool little bits and bobs about what's coming. Now, we're going to mostly concentrate on, we got a letter from the showrunner, a certain Mr. Davis. There is discussion in this letter from Mr. Davis about the trailer that dropped there on Christmas Day. So while we were all sitting there absolutely stuffed to the gills and, you know, this wonderful trailer came on and somebody was like, sorry, I can't play Family Monopoly. I have to go and film about Doctor Who. I regret nothing. Monopoly destroys families. And here's the first thing we learned. Not 1 second of that trailer has come from special number 2. So we know there's going to be 3 specials in November that are going to feature David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So excited, brilliant, but everything that we saw seems to be coming from special number 1. Davis had this to say on the topic. The trailer contains 0 footage from special 2. I have a dream that special 2 could air with no previews. It has an opening scene shot in the wide open air full of surprises which no fan or passerby saw. It's still a lovely secret. We live in the age where I can barely go to check my post without it being put all over line. So how did they pull this off? Wide open air, you know, is it actually just a hangar painted with the sky? Unlikely. Is it somewhere so remote that people wouldn't know to go there? Bad Wolf Bay, anyone? To be honest, no, I don't think it's Bad Wolf Bay, but that has me wondering who's in this opening. Is this thing that is full of surprises? Sure, but is it surprises that we're going to learn about in episode 1? Let's say I was cast in special number 2, but nothing of that got out until episode 1 aired. Is that the kind of thing they're talking about? That, yes, this entire first scene of people, massive spoilers, but nobody knows they're working on Doctor Who yet. I should state categorically that I am not in special number 2. I'm in number 3. We've theorized and theorized as to what these specials could be about, other than, you know, what we've seen. You know, are we going to get stuff with Shooty? Are we going to get stuff with the other Doctors? Now, if this is featuring the other Doctors, and it is in the wide open air, that leads me to believe that at least this opening scene of special number 2 is not going to be every living Doctor plus maybe some impersonators playing the ones who've passed away in full costume somewhere, because it strikes me that's an image that might have made it online. Now, the next little bit that Davis revealed was like, we're going to go back even further now to October of last year with the airing of The Power of the Doctor. Now, of course, we got a wee teaser on the end of that, but that was originally going to be longer. Davis confirmed this by saying, those 60 seconds were originally designed to be a much larger trailer. A trailer for, well, things that are still secret, announcement of our bigger plans. Now, he quickly explained why they cut it down. And to be honest, I completely agree with their reasoning. The Power of the Doctor was Jodie's swan song. This was about saying goodbye to the 13th Doctor, and it was about the end of that era. By announcing all these bigger plans that are coming and things like that, that would have taken the spotlight away from her last episode. Now, already the reveal of David Tennant at the end of it, that has fans reeling, as most regenerations tend to. This one slightly more, I think. But to do that, to say goodbye to Jodie Whittaker and then be like, oh, very sad. Well, yes, okay, here we go. I do think that would have been disrespectful, so I'm totally on board with them for this one. The announcement of the bigger plans, now again, we have theorized, and particularly there's a few videos that we have potentially linked around my head somewhere of where we've talked about, plans for possibly spin-offs, plans for other types of shows than just the main Doctor Who series. And it looks like, is this another little confirmation that there's more coming? Because if this is announcements of our bigger plans, then sure, that could just be, season 14 is going to be really big, everybody. Or it's like, while you're enjoying season 14, don't forget to check out the Joe Grant adventures. Let's see what, I don't know, K9 is up to. Is that something they're planning on doing? I bloody hope so, by the way. But anyway, is that something they're hoping on doing? And were they going to actually reveal that originally? Then by deciding not to do that, I can understand, again, not including it in the Christmas trailer as well. Give us time to breathe. You really should, if you can, read this letter from Davis, because he goes in and he explains a little bit of the thinking behind what did and didn't go into the trailer. And I don't want to give too much away here. Frankly, he says it better than I do. I quite like Russell T Davies. I think he seems like a decent guy. I think he's a bit of a meanie. Just when we were all just like, we're looking at this, but he just goes like, who's that bloke walking into the shop with the umbrella? Bit of a big guest star, and no one's talking about him yet, is it? What? What? So yeah, okay, this person, now, it's not that we didn't notice them before, we were just like, okay, just a kind of a glimpse and a walk by. No, apparently somebody to be paid attention to. If you go and check out Twitter user at BBC William Who, there is a great thread of theories there about who this person can be, ranging from Hugh Grant, with whom Russell T Davies has worked with in the past, or, a de-aged Ian Chesterton, this being, it's the Celestial Toymaker. It's the freaking Celestial Toymaker shop. Sorry. And also, of course, the great William Russell, who I presume this isn't, had his cameo in The Power of the Doctor. So was that a kind of a clever way to be like, remember Ian Chesterton, everyone? Because we're bringing him back. In POG form. Sorry. Potentially dated reference there. We know as well that Davis has teased the return of Susan Foreman. No, I am not assuming that this person with the umbrella is Susan Foreman. Although one should never assume. But again, is it this era? Is that the point of this, that we're looking at the first Doctor era? I think that would definitely lean toward that. But yes, there has been this, basically this knowing wink to the camera that, yeah, this is someone that you should notice. And it's just like, Russell, this drove us mad when you were showrunner before. There's another possibility of course, who it could be as well, because you start to run through the names of who do we know Russell T Davies has worked with, and who do we know, like, sometimes he's given big stars, little cameo roles. Think of It's a Sin. Neil Patrick Harris, who we know is in these specials, had quite a small role in the first episode. Stephen Fry turned up in a relatively small role as well. So, I mean, this could be Tom Hanks, who's like in the first 5 minutes of the first special and then just gets offed, which actually I think is something Russell would probably do. Another name to throw in the hat, it could be Rory Kinnear, who Russell worked with on Years and Years. Now, I love Rory Kinnear, and he just keeps, I turn around and there he is and he's in something else, and he's great in that. And there he is and he's in something else, and he's great in that. I would love to see him in Doctor Who. And Russell does have a tendency to work with actors he's worked with before. I think it's very possible. If not him, I mean, I say this now, and the opening of Special 2 is going to be just Rory Kinnear standing in a field going, I'm in Doctor Who! Folks, go out and pick up a copy of Doctor Who magazine number 587. You can get a digital version, you can get a print version, and for every time you buy one, I get another Lamborghini. I'm not getting a car. Everyone, thank you so much for following along. Everyone is awesome. You are wonderful. Make sure that you keep things wibbly wobbly. We will be back to you as soon as with more news, more tidbits, and every time that there's a bit of story come out, Danny loses another 3 hours of sleep. You're all awesome. Thanks very much.